draws her hand against his lips, sniffing her lotion. She can't smell it, but she's aware that he likes the lemony aroma. "Am I warm enough?" she asks.
"Getting there,"
he says, and shifts slightly. Taking the cue, she slips a couple fingers under his belt, in his waistband, feeling the warmth there. His hands return behind his head. He is still not in a hurry.
"Tell me more,"
he says.
"Did this strange Stella have a neck seam?"
"Yes."
"So she's a basic. Was she pretty?"
"I suppose so. Pretty enough. She was a white girl with blonde hair and big brown eyes. She didn't smile much, which also seemed odd."
"How was her body?"
"Compared to mine?"
"Just answer the question."
Annoyance. A 2 out of 10. She must be careful. He stirs again. She pulls out his shirt tails and undoes his buttons, working them randomly for a change. "She had a classic hourglass shape," Annie says, remembering back. "A couple inches taller than me, I'd say. Fit and curvy overall."
"Like a model, then,"
he says.
"It sounds like you made a friend."
She gives a genuine laugh.
"Is that so funny?"
he asks.
"Should we invite her over for a playdate?"
As she finishes his buttons, he sits up enough to get his shirt off the rest of the way. Then he settles back again. She trails her hand slowly down his bare chest and shakes her head. "I'm afraid her CIU's been cleared," she says. "They made a mistake with her."
"How do you mean?"
She rubs her hand down his zipper, lightly, and he stretches again. She straddles his legs and undoes his belt, taking her time. One of the techs had flipped on her autodidactic mode, but he hadn't told her owners.
"I didn't think they could do that."
"I don't think they're supposed to. This tech said he just did it as an experiment." She pauses, lifting up a bit to pull his pants and boxers out of the way. She was very unstable. Over half of her memory was compromised. Someone was using her as a cuddle bunny.
"So? You're a cuddle bunny and you're autodidactic."
"But I know that and you know that. We chose it together," she says. This Stella was still switching back and forth between modes and nobody was training her. It had to be incredibly confusing. She has settled onto his legs again and checks his reactions as she touches him. He sucks in air.
"I don't see what the problem is,"
he says.
"So she was confused. She could still follow orders, couldn't she?"
Annie pauses, perplexed.
"Annie, that's not a good time to stop."
But she frowns, still unmoving. She's sitting over him, her open robe falling to either side. For once, she has more clothing on than he does, and she feels how it tilts the balance of power between them in a not unpleasant way. He sits up slowly, holding her on his lap, and touches her shoulders gently.
"What did I say?"
he asks. "It's just—" She stops, letting herself sound like she's searching for words while her circuits whirl. In truth, she doesn't know how to explain it. "She was like a child," she says finally. He leans his mouth to her shoulder and kisses her there through her robe. Then he slides her robe gently down her arm to bare her skin, and kisses her again.
"She's not a child,"
he says softly.
"You're giving her the same feelings you have, but she's not like you."
"How do you know?" she asks.
"Because I do,"
he says.
"You're light years beyond a basic Stella. I love when you get all righteous and compassionate."
She's still feeling puzzled, distracted, vicariously lost. But that's clearly turning him on. He twists, bringing her over onto her back, and she lifts her hips to accommodate him. She wants to ask if he would ever have her CIU cleared. But she knows this is not a time for questions. It is not a time for talking at all. She has